Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. Had a fun idea today. I wanted to tell you about these different glasses that I use for cycling. Now, you guys probably frequently see me wearing these. These are quite old. These are Oakley Jawbone. They don't sell them anymore, and they were called the Jawbone because this lower part of the frame opens like a jaw, and you can swap the lenses. So I have these polarized dark lenses here, like sunglass style, and I frequently wear the clear ones so I can make eye contact with you guys, and because I'm here in British Columbia and it's not always super bright out, so I can wear these into the evening, and the little vents on the side help to reduce the potential of fogging, right? A lot of times you're riding, you've got a helmet on. These days maybe you have a mask or something if you're walking around, and having a way for the glasses to vent really helps, especially when you have a full frame. Now these are pretty sporty, and they've got the rubberized nose piece, the earpiece. Now they still sell something like this. It's called the racing jacket, and there are a number of other jacket style glasses from Oakley, including a half jacket, which doesn't include that lower jaw portion. It's just the lens hanging down, and that's probably going to let air circulate a little bit more freely. Now the scope of this video is really to talk about casual cycling. This is more like, racing and high intensity, and they really wrap around your face. They're close, they're sporty, but a lot of times I'm just cruising through a neighborhood and I don't need something quite like this. I might want something a little bit more stylish, or in this case, something that actually has speakers built in, so I can talk to people, I can listen to music, all without fully obstructing my hearing. I've had a pair of these like in-ear Bluetooth audio headphones and stuff. Bose actually has one called the Quiet Comfort, and then they plug into your ears. There are a bunch of different, earbuds these days, a lot of them with noise canceling, which is really nice. The cool thing about these glasses is that they don't obstruct your ears at all. So you get the protection from the sun and the comfort. It's going to stop bugs from, getting into your eyes and dust and stuff, but you're still going to be able to talk to people. And as long as you aren't riding too fast, the audio is pretty good. You're not going to get the wind noise and stuff, because people with their ears, you've got like little hairs and stuff in and around your ears, and then I have actual hair that's going to kind of muffle the wind a little bit, and kind of almost like feathers on an owl or something. It makes them so silent, and so the hair actually does a really good job. And when you start to put earphones and earbuds into your ears, it can become kind of uncomfortable. And then you put this mask or something over your ear, it can become even more uncomfortable. And now you've got the straps hanging down as well. So what I found is that these glasses, they're $250 US. They're pretty lightweight, and they've got a whole bunch of touch controls built right in. So down here, there's a little button that powers them on. And then on the side, there's capacitive touch. That's like a volume slider, or you can double tap it to get the assistant. And that's just so cool. It's like almost completely hands-free once you get things set up. And you can also operate these through your phones. You can see there's another like speaker mesh right there. And then at the bottom, they've been improved since they were introduced. I think in 2019, they won Time Magazine's Best Innovations of the Year, and they come in 5 different styles. So there's the Rondo, which is sort of a round one, the Alto, the Tempo, which is very sporty, much like the half jackets, the Oakley style we were talking about. Those are probably the best ones if you're riding a little bit faster, or you're worried about that fogging up the glasses. And then we've got the Tenor here. It's kind of the square frame that looks really nice, and then the Soprano. And these names do relate to sort of singing. I used to be in choir, and I was actually a tenor, and then sopranos were even higher. I chose the white frame because I wanted to be visible, right? When you're riding your bike, sometimes you're going quickly and you're darting in and out of traffic, and all the rest of my gear is black. Most of my jackets and even my pants are sort of dark colored stuff. I guess that's the color guys get a lot of times, or it's just, it all matches and it seems like it stays clean. But the glasses, that helps people to see me, to recognize I'm a person, and it just feels like it adds another level of safety. And while we're on the topic, Abus gives me helmets occasionally, and they gave me this one a while back, and it's got like a a light built into the top. You just press and it sort of blinks, and that's another way to keep the top of my body, the highest point, almost like a flagpole, just visible if I'm riding in the dusk or dawn or even nighttime conditions. So highly reflective glasses frames plus a light really helps. Unfortunately, the Bose glasses don't seem to come in any colors except for black, but maybe it's something you could touch up with some spray paint or, you know, wrap some tape around them and kind of customize them yourself. That is one of the complaints I have about the Bose frames. I also frequently take phone calls when I'm driving, and I just thought this was a nice way to do that, again, so I can hear sirens or other cars honking their horns and stuff and really follow the law and be hands-free, but without having to really turn up the volume and maybe interrupt a passenger who's in the car. So when you're listening to these, unless you're really close, you can't actually hear someone else's volume. So that's another neat thing. They're fairly discreet in that sense. They even have motion control, so when you set them upside down, they turn off, which is neat. It's kind of a battery saving feature. Here's the charging cable. It's actually got a magnetic interface with these little metal dots. You just connect that to the right arm, plug it in, they charge right up. 5.5 hours on this per charge, which is pretty great. And then they come with this kind of plasticky case. It's also magnetic, so it seals pretty securely. It's going to keep the glasses from getting crushed. In addition to the 5 frame types, there are also several lenses, at least 3 that I've seen for this particular model, including mirrored blue, mirrored silver, and then just this sort of dark smoked gray, and that's what most of them come with. But they are polarized, which is great. And in addition to the touch controls we talked about, they do have a mic system, so when you're on a phone call, again, you can communicate. It's not just one-way audio. Now, there are less expensive audio glasses available on Amazon, but Bose has this 90-day warranty, which I think is pretty cool, and they've also got free shipping if you buy off their website. And that's nice, as long as it's over $50, which these are. Again, they're like $300 Canadian, $250 USD. And some of the older models, like the Rondo round ones, are a little bit cheaper. I think they're putting those ones on sale. Again, this is not like the first generation of these glasses. They have been improved with deeper audio and possibly a higher battery life, that 5.5 hours. I'm gonna boot up the smartphone app now. So I just press this little button over here, and then maybe you can hear it. Yeah, it's kind of a whom sound. And then here's the smartphone app. It's connecting, and there we go. 90% charged. You can see the glasses. We can adjust the volume from here or with the rocker button right here, as well as the slider on the side of the glasses. Got some tips which are handy to look through. Control your music, answer phone calls. The touch controls, that's what I was talking about before. There's the slider on the right hand side, changing the volume, or double tap for a voice assistant. We could change our source here. We can turn the frames on or off, and then there's directions for switching the lenses. I have popped the lenses out. It wasn't too difficult. You just sort of push at the top edge with 2 fingers and it pops right out. And then when you're putting it back in, you sort of start with the top right corner, top left corner, lower. It was pretty straightforward, and the frames felt fairly sturdy. It didn't feel like I was going to break them. And here's what they look like with my helmet on, riding around, enjoying my time with these glasses, talking to my folks and stuff. It's just a good way to be present. I see people walking along and say, hey, how are you doing? And still be aware. But I should be clear that these are really casual cycling glasses. If you're going fast and the wind is rushing by, you can turn the volume up, but the experience does start to get a little, you hear the wind, like the noises. It's not as bad as the noise canceling in-ear earbuds, because they seem to try to cancel out the noise, and they sort of change the shape of your ear, and the hairs and stuff don't act as a buffer as well. So these are good, but again, it's sort of a casual thing. So if you're going lower speeds, not super windy, they should work great. Well, guys, I think that's it. If I were to do it all over again, I might get the Tempo glasses because they don't have the thick frame. They might weigh a bit less and allow air to circulate under the lens, not fog up as much, which these ones do when I've worn a mask, which most of the time I'm not wearing a mask if I'm walking around the block. You know, I'm not really interacting with people. I'm just talking on the phone. So it's not the biggest consideration, but there are times where you're really huffing, you're riding the bike, or maybe it's just the climate you live in where fogging could happen more. I think the Tempo would have less fogging. I've really enjoyed the glasses. I'm not sure how waterproof or water resistant they are, but Bose has that good warranty. And in the past, I've noticed that if something happens and it's not really your fault damaging it, if like one of the speakers stops, usually they'll give you half off a new pair if you read them your serial number and stuff. It's a very reputable company, so I'm very happy with that. I love that you can, not only can you get the different colored lenses that Bose sells, but you can actually go to an optometrist and get like clear lenses or yellow or whatever, and they can cut them to size and you can just pop those in, same thing. So a lot of possibilities with this. This is not a paid review or anything. I just bought these. I thought they were cool, and I thought it would be kind of fun mixing in some accessories between the different reviews and just sharing all the cool creative technology that's out there. So maybe you know of some other audio glasses or some other cool tech you want me to check out, or just let me know. I love this stuff too. I love you guys. I hope you have a great week. Have some fun riding your bikes, and we'll see you on the next review.